A lot of teams resist processes because they think they're too rigid, too slow, or too much work to maintain. In this video, we're going to break that assumption and show you the three-layer model that makes processes actually work in the real world. Sometimes teams avoid creating processes because they already have past documents that nobody ends up reading and that don't support or set the team up for success. Sometimes teams avoid creating processes because they think it removes autonomy, when in fact the opposite is true. For teams to have autonomy, they need a clear understanding of expectations, the path to success, and how to collaborate with others. By giving team members clarity, they have the autonomy to leverage their knowledge on what matters, rather than spending their effort guessing, redoing work, coordinating across teams, and planning the work instead of doing the work. Another interesting fact is that processes are often thought of as inflexible, so some teams are reluctant to implement them because they believe they will change. Processes must adapt to change and account for the complexity of work and the different technologies that you and your team will use to do your jobs. What is key here is to know and apply the 3 layers of process design. A process is built on 3 main layers. The first is the base, the skeleton, also known as the foundation, like in a building. This is the part that usually repeats every time. For example, every time you start a new marketing plan, you will use the same base. Every time you start with a new client, you will use the same base. And every time you start a new product feature, you will use the same one. It includes the non-negotiables and main expectations that are consistently true. This is why this first layer can be quite small for some organizations and much larger for others. At Nova, this means the team has a basic setup process that includes all the non-negotiables, expectations, and fundamentals for them to succeed. For example, if they are working on a new product initiative, they choose the process and it is instantly ready for them to start. If the HR team is hiring someone new, they choose the process and everything is ready to go. Then we have the second layer, the building blocks. Like Legos or bricks, these can be added based on the project, strategy, or client, as the team needs them. The team can find suggestions in the first layer using if this, then that prompts, helping them determine what to do next more easily. These can be added as you go, as work is unlocked in key phases, or as soon as the work starts and there is clarity on what must be done, decided, and delivered, and what the expectations are. This is a quite flexible layer. The team has access to a library and adds what they need, with the flexibility to make changes. At Nova, this means having a library for the team that they can access and use to add the things they need, ensuring basic expectations and criteria are met. Then finally, the adaptable layer. This is where the details live. The specific expectations, the decisions the team has made over time that may affect deliverables, the how, the nuances to consider, and the things to avoid. These are pieces unique to the project and to the moment, as things gain clarity over time. In practical terms, this requires going into the work session and editing the step to add those details, so that when the team starts working on it, they can do so without having to ask questions, make assumptions, guess, or redo work. It often means that when a team member asks a leader a question about how to do something, or the leader finds a mistake, or reviews someone's work and notices it wasn't done as expected, instead of just explaining it in a message or in a meeting and hoping people remember, the leader adds those details directly into the process where it will guide the team going forward. This layer also captures agreements made during meetings on how to do something. For instance, Person A will do X, and Person B will do Y, turning those agreements into part of the process. Or a meeting gets added because a decision is blocking progress, along with the steps to follow during that meeting to reach a decision. At Nova, this means adding details, such as going into a work session and adding a new step to indicate that, for this specific strategy, the team must review what competitors are doing. This ensures the new product has at least all the features the competitors offer before a decision is made regarding priorities. Alternatively, if certain steps aren't necessary for a project, you can delete them so the team and everyone involved know exactly what is expected. When starting with processes, the goal is to build the first layer, and that layer doesn't even have to be perfect. Start small and add as you get more comfortable, and start building the habit. The goal isn't a perfect process on day one. It's clarity, momentum, and a system that grows with your team. Start with layer 1 and let the rest follow.